impact everybody in the room, including me, is that where are capital markets headed and what will happen to our wealth? 10 years ago, in the first edition of IC, the Nifty was at 7,000, about 7,000. Today we are at 25,000. So at 25,000 is the Nifty right now. 20th edition of IC, what could be the Nifty level?
I think
No,
I mean, simple math है अगर 12% है then 6 साल में double होता है and you can calculate 10 years. My brain doesn't work as fast. But I think somewhere there, if the return expectations are reasonable, and remember that when you look at past and the future, in 2016, one of the biggest reform that has happened in India actually is Monetary Policy Committee, right? If the central bank is saying that we will anchor inflation, actual CPI inflation at 4%, then you have to change your risk premium also. And then in that, if you make 10-12%, it's a pretty good return over the next 10 years.
Shankar, 30 seconds का जवाब देने के लिए, I'll be kicked out of the stage. Officially, they've come, right? In next 10 years, where do you think the Nifty will be there?
I'm an old school guy, Sensex.
चलिए Sensex 80,000 है अभी.
So
you can,
if you take 10 years at 10% or 12%, okay, and compound it, you are getting at about 170,000 or so. Give or take 20,000 points on the Sensex.
So अगले 10 साल में Sensex 80,000 से 1.5 लाख से 2 लाख हो सकता है. The choice is ours, whether we want to stay invested in the market or we don't want to stay invested in the market. I'll just narrow it down to next year, which is 2025. Now 2024, the current year, was dominated by election talk. Then it was dominated by central bank communication. Then it was dominated by this earnings slowdown which happened 2 quarters ago. What do you think for 2025, which is the coming year, could be that element of volatility? I mean, what could be that event which could inject volatility?
If you're talking India, I think all the eyes are on that one number which is GDP growth, and of course second number is corporate earnings growth. On both, my thinking is more, let's say, less than hyper bullish. I think we are in for a period of moderation. We have been driven by government capex on the growth numbers of GDP. That is a good thing to do out of a problem like the pandemic. I get that. That cannot remain a steady state situation given the deficits that we have been running. Once that moderates, and it's been already moderating, you will see a lowering of headline numbers of GDP. I think that is reflecting already. Corporate numbers are also going to reflect that. Therefore, I'm saying next year will be a quieter year for the Indian markets, at least for the large cap areas. Small caps, they don't really care much about GDP number. They are in their own neck of woods. They have specialities, some of our exports. So they have a different trajectory, good or bad. But for large caps, I am less than hyper bullish. I think we are in for a period of maybe stagnant markets next year.